WIBNX Radio.
Disney have all negotiated new contracts with their employees to take them up to about $15. And Bernie, good old Bernie, started a conversation about McDonald's taking their employees up to $15 an hour. And I said, I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's a conversation McDonald's will not have, and you're talking about a $52 billion company, will not have a conversation about taking their wages up. But these two don't agree with that. Why y'all don't agree with that?
I'll just say it's not me personally. What it is the economy and business and fiscal sense require that people do not all get paid $15 an hour, especially if they're currently making minimum wage, which is $7.25. You're getting $10 an hour for multiple reasons. And for example, with Amazon, what they've had to do now to counteract this wage increase with taking away stocks or stock options and with taking away their bonus or their incentive structure, bad for morale, and it's bad for long-term wealth generation. It's also bad for wealth transfer, which is an issue, I think, within the black community.
That we're not using anyway. So why not go ahead and give the money to them now? Because they're not taking advantage of the stock options anyway.
It depends on the company that you work for. Huh? It depends on the company that you work for. Like,
what do you mean?
When I worked for Foot Locker, if you were a manager, they automatically sent that letter to your house, told you they was going to take $4 out of every check and put it into an option to buy into the company.
Yeah, but everybody's not. Very few companies do that.
Most companies do that. They just don't tell you. If they tell you that you get a 401k and you leave and you got some money, take the money out your check.
We have a special guest in the studio today. We have a special. Pedro, introduce yourself.
¿Qué pasa? This your boy Pedro Francois from the JC Squid on the Air Show. I just scooped on in and I'm about to scoop on out, but I have to disagree though, and I'm gonna tell you why. All right, it may be a wage increase for certain companies, but you gotta think about the majority. All right,
that's my point.
The majority doesn't make $15 an hour, right? And if I make $7 and something change an hour, I can't afford stock options, right? I can't afford to keep my lights on. I can't afford a bunch of different things. Now you could probably say, hey, well, you can work anywhere. That's not true, right? Because you think about it when you talk about generational wealth and capitalism in America, we all look out for who? The people around us, ourselves, right? So if I'm working for Amazon, I am not going to go, you're a stranger. I'm going to call my brother, my uncle, whoever, and come and offer him that job, especially if it becomes available, especially if I can train him for that position, right? So when you say on a mass level, hey, people who are in poverty, who never save money, $15 an hour does change their life.
Right.
Tremendously.
Until.
Now, inflation is already going to happen. We know that's coming, right? But that's a gradual step over time. That means I got at least 6, 8 months, 12 months, you know what I mean, or 2 years to pump up. Think about that. Now I can say, hey, look, if I'm smart, you know, because most of us think we are, right? If I'm smart and I just take the money and I pump up and I live the same way, save, then I can invest in those stock options.
So why not a trust then? Amazon should just put, if Amazon's going to say, all right, listen, poor person, since you may have poor financial habits, I'll just create a trust and put it in your name. And that way you can't touch it.
And who's going to be over that trust? Who's going to be over that trust? Who's going to be over it?
Now, trust is great, right? Trust is great for the generational wealth side.
Okay, you need to move on this side because I can get that when you on that side.
Right. Trust is great from a generational side, right? But for an individual as myself who wants to live now, right? How does it benefit me? If you say, hey, look, the money that I'm not going to give you on your check, we're going to put in a trust. So how accessible is that trust? Can I go in there at any time? Or do I have to wait 10 to 15 years? I could die tomorrow. How does that benefit me?
Accessible for what, though?
What do you mean?
What do you mean accessible for? Because what we just said was the importance of smart financial habits, right?
Right.
So if you have an importance of living beneath your means, and not just increasing your cost of living just because your salary or your wage or whatever has increased, then what should it be immediately accessible for over the next 6 months, 10 months, 12 months? Like, my fear is more so that it's a temporary solution to a bigger problem, which is that whatever the job is, it doesn't warrant 15, let alone 20 or 25 or whatever else dollars an hour. Whatever the job is, it just doesn't warrant that.
Let me ask you a question. Right? How many people in America go on vacation? How many vacation dollars are left on the table?
Disposable income.
How many people who make $7 and something cents ever been anywhere? Right? So
I told you what that was.
What?
If you make $12 an hour, your disposable income at the end of the year is $730. That's profit. That's outside of money that you've spent on bills and being able to live. So $730.
I believe it.
Right.
But if you go to $15, it's $2,100. Now the question, and what she's saying is like, the question becomes, I don't think that inflation is that slow. Because if you look at a city like Atlanta, with like developed to do, I think it's Farquhar. He's one of the number one developers in the city of Atlanta. And the construction company that I work for, if you look at the apartments that they building, next same size as apartments in the hood, but they just in the building downtown.
Right.
Now, if they charging $2,500 for a studio,
right,
but you make $2,500, you assume you can afford $2,500. If you create something, if you create a system where people think they can afford $2,500 because they make $2,500, when they lose that $2,500, they go all the way back to more. Like, there is no middle. Like, if you make $8, the goal is not for you to be stuck at making $8 or be cool with you making $8. If you throw everybody into the $15 pool, then what incentive does that create for management, assistant managers, franchises?
Not for them to pay more. Yeah, but that's gonna fall on the organization. If you choose not to do that, you
so everybody from the
but then you gotta charge more. So now your number one go from $535 to $835.
Right. It's not even a financial issue. It's a knowledge issue. Because pay me $15 an hour, right? I still have to figure out how to manage that money in my lifestyle, right? But what you just said, just because I made 25, I think I can afford 25. That's a lot of knowledge on how I handle my finances, right? But at least I have the opportunity to mess up. Which is being real. At least I have the opportunity.
But what does that do? Because we've seen that now. Like, because don't forget, minimum wage went from $3 to $5.25, from $5.25, and it jumped directly to $7.25.
Right.
And most jobs don't pay $7.25; they pay you $8 to $9. If you just started here in the city of Atlanta,
right.
If you're in California, they off the rip because of the cost of living. So if the cost of living warrants how much I have to pay you,
right.
that means that rent got to go up. So rent can no longer be $500.
Yeah, if it's still going up,
and I'm not getting paid.
It is going up because of where people want to live. If you want to live there, you don't make that.
But it's not sufficient that you work that in these 8 hours you should be able to support yourself. That's the given. That's the invisible given that people think. Well, if I have a job, I should be able to support myself. But that's not true. Like, no one ever said that 8 hours plus 2 30-minute breaks is all you should have to work as a person. No one said that. In Japan, that's a joke to them. Like, they can imagine working for only 8 hours. They work for 15, 16 hours at 7 and 8, 12 years old. Like, we've instituted our lifestyle is very easy. Even in the tiny little apartments we complain about,
right.
Even with the measly $200 grocery budget we complain about.
Right.
That is Class A living in many, many places in the world. Like, so when you say a living wage, the first question, immediate question is, what do you call a living wage? Do you call a living wage having 2 dependents while you're in your early 20s? Because that to me requires more than a living wage. That requires a substantial amount of income. What are you trying to do with your lifestyle? Are you trying to live by yourself? Because a lot of people have roommates. They live in 4, 5, 6 to a house. So what makes you think you should be able to live alone? Like, you have a right to live alone? No, you don't. You don't have a right to drive a car. You don't have a right to have a cell phone. You don't have a right to have a job that lets you just work 8 hours and go home and be okay.
This is America.
Yeah.
That's the luxury of being American.
No, it's not. It's clearly not, because now we're trying to get more money. So clearly it's not a luxury. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people gotta live with lots of people.
That's relative, right, to a global scale.
We talking about
in America.
Minimum wage going
everything
up.
That we have
now that Amazon,
things that we complain about is a luxury.
They are.
Right?
But Amazon,
that's not our fault.
Target,
luxury,
Disney, all went back to the table and said, "Hey, we're gonna pay them $15 an hour."
When you look
they don't agree with it.
How
assholes.
I don't know how y'all.
I don't understand why more money. You're a capitalist that works out perfect.
When they
That means I know you can pay for my services, right? No matter what.
These two on the opposite side. I said it's a good thing,
right?
But these two.
Are they
now, when you look at poverty, wealth, and the scale and everything in the middle, right? You try to figure out.
I can see Trish saying something like, "Oh no."
Yeah, the owners. I mean,
but we weren't taught to live in a house full of
plus, is you crazy?
Right, to where everybody can work, save,
well, their thing is, if you pay everybody 15, what happens to the incentive for managers and stuff?
No, that's why they mad. Because they know if they go to 15, now they're gonna McDonald's making about as much as they had to work hard for, and their shit don't go like.
Apartment, so on and so forth.
So basically, it's quote unquote double.
Yeah.
Right. This was the
so that means everybody's pay should double. He's mad because he don't know if his pay will double.
He's on my side. It's these
It's cheaper that way.
It's
they don't want to go up?
No.
It's much cheaper.
Why don't want to go
now,
up?
since it's much cheaper, right? You have to think about it. Now, jobs are booming. Everybody's
Double R
making
ain't paying
money.
nobody.
They're saying, hold
Minimum
on, wait.
wage.
We already got out of the.
Matter of fact,
what
Double
was
R, you
bad
shouldn't want this shit to go so they can buy
before
them
it's
shit.
becoming good again, right? Why y'all complaining?
Cause got money for red bottoms and Fendi belts, bro.
Right, that's what I got money for. On my minimum wage, but now I got paid 15. I got money for your music too.
Right?
But see, but now I know that you don't want me to get 15. I'm really not getting no money.
8 hours a day, right? But the system is
I heard some about me. No, I straight don't.
So why are you mad?
What I'm explaining, what I was trying to explain is that you're not entitled to anything that you believe $15 an hour will get you. Whether it's 800 square feet to yourself, a car to yourself, a phone to yourself. These are luxuries. Nobody in the Constitution said everyone deserves X.
Bruh,
it's out there, work for it.
But that's like a
the pursuit of happiness is in the Constitution.
The pursuit, the guarantee is a different thing.
No. So just because you give me 15,
pursue it. That's what you said.
No. You give me 15 because that's the minimum.
And we had another person join the conversation.
Because you know people, hold on. Because you know there's people at work that don't do no damn work, that show up,
and they should be fired.
And that's what I'm saying.
They should get, but that's on the boss. That's on the boss.
But they gonna get
I'm with that though.
15.
You want to fire lazy people.
They ain't
I'm with that.
You pay tax.
That's called white privilege.
You can buy my service. Like,
Introduce yourself.
so this kitty, director's operation. If you want $15 an hour minimum wage,
I think everyone's value has a number. Everyone's value has a number to it. The person putting the salt on the fries don't have the same value as the person who got to hack the cows up for you. It's a different value for labor, different value, and it's not personal. It's not personal.
No. This is the thing, right? Before you knew what minimum wage was,
Right.
Are you trying to say there should be no minimum wage at all?
Actually, yeah.
Okay, so that's a different argument, because if you read that, okay. But to me, since there's already one, if they double it, shouldn't matter.
Yeah, there shouldn't be one. There shouldn't be.
So it shouldn't be. Hold on. And you know why there's a minimum wage, right?
IBNX Radio.